Have you ever been judged before you even opened your mouth? Have you ever walked into a place you were meant to own, only to be told you didn't belong? This is the story of a black man who walked into a building to finalize a life-changing business deal, only to be told to wait outside. But just minutes later, the tables would turn. He wouldn't just walk back in. He would shut the entire company down. And the reason why? Well, it starts with a cup of coffee and ends with an act of kindness that no one saw coming. Jordan Maxwell had never looked the part of a billionaire. Tall, broad-shouldered, and always in clean but simple clothes, he was the kind of man who preferred driving himself in a beat-up Chevy rather than letting someone else do it in a Rolls. He believed in staying grounded. That morning, Jordan was headed to Lexington Financial Group, a multi-billion-dollar wealth management firm with offices overlooking downtown Boston. He had quietly made an offer to acquire the firm, a strategic move to reshape financial equity across underserved black communities in the U.S. It was the culmination of 2 decades of work, and the deal was set to close that day. But instead of walking in with fanfare or a red carpet, Jordan walked into the building alone. No entourage, no assistant. Just a man with a laptop bag and a purpose. He smiled at the receptionist and said kindly, "Hi, I'm here for the 10 a.m. with Mr. Alden. My name is Jordan Maxwell." The young woman at the front desk didn't even look up. She kept typing, then glanced at him with raised eyebrows. "Deliveries in the back. Use the service entrance." Jordan blinked. "I'm not here for a delivery." She frowned. He tried again, gentler. "I'm Jordan Maxwell. Scheduled to meet your CEO." Before he could finish, she stood up abruptly. "No walk-ins today. You'll need to wait outside until someone comes to get you." Outside, in the rain. Jordan looked past her, toward the sleek glass elevators that led to the top floor, where his name was likely being discussed in a conference room right now. But he didn't argue. He stepped back quietly and walked outside. The rain had started coming down in light sheets, soft, misty, but enough to soak through his blazer. Jordan stood under the awning, his hands in his pockets. And that's when someone tapped his shoulder. "You all right, man?" It was a janitor. Mid-50s, Caribbean accent, kind eyes beneath a fraying blue cap. Jordan smiled faintly. "Guess I look like I'm waiting for a bus." The janitor chuckled. "Nah, you look like someone with more on his mind than just staying dry." Jordan hesitated, then told the truth. "I'm supposed to be buying the company upstairs." The man's eyes widened. "You? Buying Lexington?" Jordan nodded. The janitor laughed softly and shook his head. "Then what are you doing out here, boss?" Jordan shrugged. "Got told to wait outside." And in that moment, the janitor just looked at him. Then without hesitation, he took off his own rain jacket and draped it over Jordan's shoulders. "No one with your soul should be treated like that." It was such a small thing, but it was everything. 10 minutes later, the company's COO rushed down the stairs, looking pale. He spotted Jordan, eyes full of apology. "Mr. Maxwell, I am so sorry for the confusion. Please, come up right away. The board is ready for you." Jordan gave a polite smile, stepped past the stunned receptionist, who was now blushing, and entered the glass elevator. The doors closed. Silence. Then, the COO asked nervously, "Are we still good to move forward?" Jordan said nothing. He just stared at the numbers lighting up. 12, 13. And when the doors opened, he stepped into the boardroom. 12 executives in suits, a polished mahogany table, and in the center of it all, the firm's CEO, Martin Alden. Martin stood and offered his hand with a too-wide grin. "Jordan, my man, we've been waiting for you." Jordan took the seat at the head of the table and opened his laptop. For the next 30 minutes, the room buzzed with spreadsheets, projections, and final numbers. The deal was ready to close. But Jordan wasn't smiling. Martin leaned forward eagerly. "So, shall we sign?" Jordan closed his laptop and folded his hands. "No." The room fell silent. Martin blinked. I'm sorry. "I won't be acquiring Lexington," Jordan said softly. "At least, not like this." Confusion spread like wildfire across the table. "May I ask why?" the CFO whispered. Jordan's voice was calm. "Because this place isn't ready to be led by someone like me." He glanced toward the glass wall overlooking the city. "I was asked to wait outside today, in the rain, because someone didn't think I belonged here. That tells me everything I need to know about this company's culture. Martin stammered. Jordan. Jordan raised his hand gently. I'm not offended, I'm just disappointed. And that's a bigger problem for you than it is for me. Then he stood up and walked out. Back outside, the rain had stopped. The janitor, whose name was Samuel, was mopping the front steps. He looked up and smiled. Didn't take long. You get what you came for? Jordan nodded slowly. In a way. He took out his phone and made one call. To his private legal team. Start the acquisition of their parent firm instead, he said quietly. We'll go above Lexington and restructure from the top. He paused. And when we do, I want a complete review of all frontline staff. He glanced at Samuel. And make sure Samuel gets an interview, full benefits, and a leadership mentor. There was a long pause on the other end of the phone. Understood, sir. 2 months later. Lexington's offices looked different. The receptionist's desk was vacant. A new face greeted every visitor with warmth and dignity. And sitting in the corner office, overseeing training for all incoming hires, was Samuel, the janitor, now promoted to director of workplace culture. He had been given a suit, a laptop, and a new beginning. But more than anything, he had been given the dignity he had always shown others. And as for Jordan, he never returned to that building. But he watched quietly as his act of walking away turned into something far more powerful. A wave of internal changes across the financial firm. More black and brown faces hired. More voices in the boardroom. More hearts being changed. Because one man chose to walk away from disrespect and towards something better. And because another man, a janitor, had chosen kindness with no reason other than love. Can you imagine that? A billionaire turned away at the door, but treated with honor by a janitor. And in the end, that is who was promoted. Because kindness has power. It changes boardrooms. It opens locked doors. It heals wounds we never speak about. So the next time you meet a stranger, whether they wear a suit or carry a mop, remember this. You never know who they are. But more importantly, you never know what your kindness might mean to them. If this story touched your heart, let us know in the comments. Tell us when was the last time someone showed you unexpected kindness. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch the next story on our channel. You never know. The next one might just change your life.